Archangel Michael says, the silence that followed was not ordinary, it carried weight, truth, and shock. Something you never expected has been whispered, and it traveled faster than fire. The air grew heavy, and even those who pretended not to care could not hide their unease. Your character, your very name, has been placed in the open by someone close. Not an enemy, not a stranger, but a friend whose voice people trusted. And now, eyes are watching, waiting, and wondering what will happen next. This exposure is not small, it has the power to shake foundations. What was once private is now a story on the lips of many. The revelation is echoing, and you are standing at the center of it. Do not think it ends here, this moment is only the beginning. The ripple will spread into your days, into your nights, into the places you thought were safe. But within this storm lies your awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, what was meant to break you is actually shaping your destiny. The truth may hurt, but it will not destroy you, it will free you. People who turned their heads in doubt will soon bow in respect. Your close friend did not just expose a weakness, they unknowingly uncovered your strength. They revealed your hidden resilience, and even those who whispered now secretly admire your survival. What was meant to shame you is carving your story of honor. Everyone froze because deep down, they saw light in you that could not be dimmed. Even in the cracks, you shine, and that unsettles those who hide in shadows. They thought you would collapse, but instead, you rise. This is why you were chosen to read this now, because the test has only begun. The friend who revealed this truth is not your enemy but your purifier. They played their part in your transformation. Type Amen to get blessing 555. From here, you will see two kinds of people. Those who believed the lies without pause, and those who quietly stayed by your side. The separation is painful, but it is necessary for your path forward. The whispers may sting, but they will also cleanse. You are learning who is true and who only smiled when the sky was clear. This season is removing masks, showing you the faces that were always hidden. Everyone froze because the energy in that moment carried divine power. It was not only your reputation being tested, but the strength of your soul. What others said is nothing compared to what heaven is declaring over you. The revelation may have started with betrayal, but it will end with vindication. What rises against you will soon fall in your presence. You will not remain the victim, you are being transformed into the example. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, do not fight this with anger, fight it with silence and grace. The truth that belongs to you will soon thunder louder than their words. Time will expose who was right, and it will be in your favor. The betrayal you feel right now is actually a blessing in disguise. It is clearing your path of false friends and revealing those whose loyalty is pure. This fire is refining you, not burning you. What was said about your character may feel like poison, but to the world, it will become medicine. Your story will heal others who walked through the same trials. You are not just enduring this moment, you are being prepared to lead. Everyone froze when the words were spoken because there was more to them than gossip. There was destiny hidden inside them, and your soul recognized it. This is why your spirit trembles, but do not fear, the light is with you. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, there are moments in life when the ground shakes beneath your feet, but what rises from that quake is unshakable strength. The exposure that happened was not an accident, it was written into your destiny. Though the pain feels sharp now, it is carving a doorway for transformation. Everyone froze when the words were spoken because the truth was too heavy to ignore. Some leaned in with curiosity, others with judgment, but all felt the power of that moment. What was meant to wound you carried divine weight. Your name is being tested, but your essence will remain untouched. You may feel stripped bare before the world, yet the universe is clothing you in armor of light. This revelation is your initiation into something greater. Your character was placed on trial, but your soul is not guilty. What you carry within you is stronger than their whispers. Time itself will defend you. Type Amen to get blessing 222. This close friend who exposed you has unknowingly set themselves on a path of regret. They thought they were pulling you down, but they only pushed you into destiny. What rises from this betrayal will be nothing short of miraculous. Everyone who froze that day felt the unseen power that surrounded you. It was as if heaven itself had paused, waiting to see your response. That silence was not emptiness, it was a divine witness. The revelation they spoke will circle back to them with tenfold force. The truth of who you are cannot be erased, no matter how loudly lies are shouted. Your spirit will always carry a light that darkness cannot dim. This exposure is not the end of your story, it is the rising chapter. What was whispered against you will soon be declared in your favor. Your destiny is louder than their words. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, do not despair, for this unveiling is a step into freedom. The masks are falling, the fake smiles are crumbling, and the hidden jealousy is surfacing. What you lost in comfort, you are gaining in clarity. Your true allies will not run from you in this season. They will stand still, unshaken, and remind you that storms cannot drown the sun. Pay attention to those who remain. Everyone froze because something sacred was happening. Though they thought it was shame, it was actually your purification. You are being separated from what is weak so you may walk in strength. Do not be surprised if more revelations come. This is only the first crack in the wall. Once truth begins to flow, it does not stop until all shadows are broken. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Your friend's voice may have cut deep, but it will not be the last voice. The voice of justice, of redemption, and of divine reward is rising next. That voice will drown out the whispers of betrayal. Everyone who froze that day will one day remember their silence. They will realize they stood in the presence of someone chosen. They will see that they underestimated the one with a divine calling. You are not just surviving this moment, you are being crowned by it. The very pain you feel now will become your testimony tomorrow. And many will learn through your example. The exposure has marked you, not as broken, but as unstoppable. They thought they defined your story, but God already wrote a better ending. You are walking toward it now. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Archangel Michael says, your silence in that moment spoke louder than any defense you could give. You may not realize it yet, but your stillness carried power. The very ones who expected you to fall are now questioning how you remain standing. Everyone froze because something about the atmosphere shifted. Their words carried accusation, but your spirit carried authority. The clash between falsehood and truth created a silence that could not be explained. This friend who revealed your character did so not from love, but from hidden envy. They wanted to dim your light, but instead, they only made it brighter. Their actions revealed more about themselves than about you. And now, every eye is watching. Some are waiting for you to collapse, while others are quietly cheering for your rise. You are not walking unseen, heaven's gaze is upon you. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The words spoken against you were not just gossip, they were an unveiling. They showed who can be trusted and who cannot. They revealed that not every smile hides kindness. Everyone froze because deep down, they recognized a shift in energy. What was whispered had a spiritual weight, and even those who laughed nervously could not deny it. Something much bigger than human opinion was at play. This is your refining fire. Like gold placed in flames, you are being purified, not destroyed. The pain you feel now is birthing a strength that will outlast this season. What was meant to humiliate you will be remembered as the very spark that changed your destiny. Their exposure was not your downfall, it was your turning point. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Archangel Michael says, "Stand tall, for your reputation is not in their hands but in divine hands. Let the whispers spread, let the rumors flow, they cannot override your divine assignment. Your calling is stronger than their opinion." Everyone froze because even in that vulnerable moment, your light did not fade. It unsettled them to see you endure without breaking. It frightened them to witness your strength clothed in silence. Your friend thought they were unveiling weakness, but instead, they unveiled your resilience. Their betrayal is a mirror of their own insecurity. They saw greatness in you that they could not match. This exposure has placed you at the edge of transformation. What lies beyond this test is not shame, but recognition. The world will soon see what heaven has always known about you. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The silence that followed their words was more powerful than applause. No one knew what to say, because the energy in the room had shifted. It was no longer about your character, it was about your destiny unfolding. Everyone froze because something sacred was happening. Your story was taking a turn, one that cannot be undone. What was spoken may echo in ears, but it will not define your path. Those who judged you will soon be silenced by truth. The very mouths that spoke against you will have to acknowledge your rise. Vindication is already moving in your direction. This is why the moment felt so heavy. It was not just betrayal, it was prophecy. What was said was meant to harm, but it became a declaration of your transformation. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, "There are truths that sting and truths that liberate, and sometimes they arrive through betrayal." What was spoken about you was designed to cut you down, yet instead it planted a seed of awakening. That moment of exposure became a mirror reflecting both your strength and the weakness of those around you. Everyone froze because the air shifted with weight they could not explain. It was no longer a simple matter of words but a collision between destiny and doubt. Hearts trembled, not because of what was said, but because of the divine presence that surrounded you. Your friend revealed something, but in truth, they revealed themselves. Their hidden envy finally surfaced through their voice. And now, you know who stood close but never stood true. The betrayal burns, but it is also cleansing. You are not being torn apart, you are being separated from shadows. And soon, the world will see the fire that betrayal could not put out. Type Amen to get blessing 222. This is the season where your true allies will shine. Those who are silent now may be the very ones who never carried loyalty in their hearts. Pay attention, for this exposure is not about humiliation, it is about revelation. Everyone froze because deep within, they sensed that your story was not ending. They saw something they could not understand, a soul unbroken even when under attack. That unsettled them more than the words spoken against you. The exposure was intended to be your downfall, but heaven has turned it into your platform. You will rise from this moment with greater strength, sharper wisdom, and unshakable grace. What was supposed to bury you will elevate you. This is why you cannot give in to despair. You are being positioned for something beyond the imagination of those who betrayed you. Their actions only accelerated your destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, the silence of that moment carried prophecy. While others gossiped, the heavens declared your strength. While people whispered, angels recorded your endurance. Everyone froze because they felt the invisible presence of justice. Though their mouths moved with accusation, their hearts shook with awareness. They knew they stood in the presence of someone chosen. The friend who revealed your character thought they had won, but victory is not in their hands. Time will show that what they spoke was empty, and what you carry is eternal. Their exposure will return to them, heavier than when it left. This pain you feel is not wasted. It is the fire refining you into pure gold. You are being reshaped for a purpose that requires this very trial. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Everyone froze not only because of shock, but because truth echoes differently when it is spoken against a chosen one. They expected you to crumble, yet you stood taller in silence than they could in accusation. That unsettled their spirit more than anything else. This season is uncovering faces you never thought would turn. The betrayal of a friend cuts deeper than the strike of an enemy, but it also opens the doorway to healing. You are discovering who belongs to your future and who belongs to your past. The exposure may have been loud, but your vindication will be louder. You will not need to defend yourself, for life itself will prove you right. Every eye that doubted you will one day witness your rise. And on that day, the same people who froze in silence will speak your name in respect. The tables are already turning. The story is being rewritten. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Archangel Michael says, this moment was not designed to destroy you, but to separate you from the illusions that surrounded you. The silence after those words were spoken was not emptiness, it was divine judgment resting in the room. Even the ones who thought they knew you best were left speechless because truth has a way of unsettling hidden hearts. Everyone froze because what was exposed cut through every false appearance. It wasn't just about you, it forced each person to reflect on their own hidden flaws. That is why their eyes darted, their hands trembled, and their spirits sank. The one who betrayed you thought they were powerful for speaking, but they were only a vessel for revelation. They were unknowingly chosen to be the instrument of separation. Their words were a test, but you will be the testimony. Do not mistake the weight of this moment as punishment. It is preparation, and every whisper will soon turn into applause when your truth shines. You are stepping into a season of vindication. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This exposure is the fire that purifies, not the fire that destroys. Just as gold is refined, you are being shaped into something stronger than before. Those who froze in that moment will one day see the glow of your transformation. Everyone froze because destiny interrupted ordinary life. They thought it was gossip, but the atmosphere carried prophecy. It was not just a conversation, it was a divine unveiling. The betrayal you feel now is proof of your importance. No one seeks to break what is worthless. The fact that your name was spoken proves that your light has always been seen. This is why you must not crumble. This fire is only clearing the path for your victory. The ashes of this pain will soon bloom into honor. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, every storm carries both rain and renewal. Though your reputation was placed under fire, your destiny remains untouched. Nothing they said has the power to erase what is written about you in heaven. Everyone froze because truth and lies collided in the same breath. The tension was too heavy to ignore, and even those who didn't speak felt it in their bones. The silence became a witness of what was unfolding. Your friend's betrayal hurt deeply because it came from someone you trusted. But betrayal always comes from the close, never the distant. It is the sacrifice of closeness that forges resilience. Do not fear what has been spoken. Words can wound, but they cannot chain a soul that has been chosen. You will rise from this stronger than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The pain of this exposure will not last forever, but the lessons it carries will stay with you. You are learning who is true and who was simply pretending. And this knowledge is priceless. Everyone froze because even in accusation, they saw strength in you. They expected weakness, but what they witnessed unsettled their spirit. You carried grace when they thought you would collapse. This is the kind of moment that transforms lives. It pushes you out of comfort into destiny. It closes doors you would never have closed on your own. One day, you will look back and thank this moment. What hurt now will soon be the very reason you are lifted higher. It is all unfolding as it must. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael says, you may not understand it now, but the heaviness you felt in that moment was not weakness, it was transition. What was exposed about you carried more than human intent, it carried divine purpose. It was a doorway into a new season, and that is why everyone froze when the words were spoken. The silence in the room was not ordinary silence. It was the kind that grips hearts and shakes hidden fears. People looked at one another, unsure of what to believe, yet they could not take their eyes off you. This friend who betrayed you thought they were clever, but they only revealed their own spirit. Their actions were not the reflection of your failure but of their envy. And now the masks have been removed. Though you may feel pain, it is the pain of birth, not death. Something new is being born from this betrayal. What was hidden in darkness has been forced into light. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Everyone froze because they felt the divine power behind the moment. Even those who laughed nervously could not hide the unease in their spirit. They knew this exposure was bigger than gossip, it was prophecy. The sting of betrayal lingers, but it is shaping you into something unbreakable. You are walking through fire, but the flames cannot consume you. They are only burning away what was never meant for your future. Your character was attacked, but your essence remains unshaken. No lie, no whisper, no betrayal can erase the destiny carved into your soul. This moment proves you are chosen. The friend who exposed you may feel powerful now, but time will reveal their downfall. Truth has a way of returning, and when it does, it will stand in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Archangel Michael says, the world may turn against you for a season, but heaven never does. What others misinterpret about you, heaven already knows with clarity. Your vindication is not delayed, it is already in motion. Everyone froze because something sacred was taking place. They did not realize it, but their spirit sensed the battle between light and shadow. In that moment, you were not just accused, you were being refined. The people who judged you will soon witness your rise. Their silence will become regret when your destiny unfolds before their eyes. They will remember how they froze, and they will know why. This betrayal is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that sets the stage for your breakthrough. Your rise is inevitable. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The exposure of your character was painful, but it brought clarity. Now you see who speaks when the lights are off, and who remains silent in truth. This knowledge will protect you in the future. Everyone froze not only because of what was said, but because of the authority in your silence. They expected you to break, yet you stood tall without a single word. That unsettled them more than any denial could. This is your moment of transformation. From the ashes of betrayal, your new strength is rising. And soon, those who doubted you will be forced to admit they were wrong. You are walking into a new season where honor will replace shame. What they tried to take from you will return multiplied. The world will see your resilience. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, this revelation was not an ending, but a doorway into your higher calling. The betrayal may feel like a wound, but it is actually the chisel shaping your destiny. What they tried to use against you is being transformed into the very reason for your rise. Everyone froze because deep in their hearts they felt something divine had just been released. They didn't know whether to believe the words or to stay silent, but the energy in the air was undeniable. It was as if time itself paused to bear witness. This close friend who revealed your character thought they were tearing you down, but they were unknowingly lifting you into alignment. They placed your name in mouths that would never have spoken it otherwise. And now, even your enemies are forced to hear about you. The pain is sharp, but it is also proof that you are chosen. What breaks others is only refining you. This is not the end, it is the shift. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Do not be surprised that jealousy wears the face of a friend. Those who know your light often feel it more strongly than strangers. And sometimes envy pushes them to speak words that cannot be taken back. Everyone froze because betrayal carries an energy that unsettles. It reveals what is hidden in hearts and brings masks crashing to the ground. That is why the room turned cold when the words were spoken. This moment is sacred, even if it hurts. It is separating those who truly value you from those who only pretended. It is showing you who belongs to your next season. And while their words spread, so too will your vindication. Time is already weaving truth into the fabric of your story. You will not remain in shadow, you will be lifted higher. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael says, hold your silence and let heaven speak for you. Every accusation will fade, but the truth will echo louder with time. Those who mocked will one day marvel. Everyone froze not only because of what was said, but because of the way you carried yourself. They expected anger, collapse, or desperation, but instead, they saw unshakable calm. That calm frightened them more than words ever could. Your character may have been placed under fire, but fire cannot destroy what is pure. Instead, it reveals strength. And you are being revealed as stronger than anyone imagined. The friend who betrayed you will one day realize they only hurt themselves. Their words will return to them heavier than when they left. And you will walk free, untouched by their envy. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Everyone froze because destiny was at work. What looked like gossip was actually prophecy. What looked like an ending was the beginning of a new chapter. You are being shifted into alignment with your true calling. Every betrayal, every whisper, every doubt is serving a higher purpose. Nothing has been wasted. This is not just about you, it is about the story others will one day tell of your resilience. People will say, they tried to break you, but you rose higher instead. That will be your legacy. The silence you carry now will thunder later. Vindication is already written in your future. And those who froze in disbelief will one day applaud your strength. Type Amen to get blessing 444.